Hey there, welcome to day 4 of our 30-day free Get Up and Go Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Today we're going to talk about the 9 areas of our life that we can set goals, priorities, think about, pay at least a teeny bit of attention to, or they will get our attention. I didn't used to pay attention to my physical well-being. I was definitely a workaholic and ran through my life. My kids were little, was running through my life raising my kids, was running through my life working in corporate America, was running through my life having businesses on the side and trying to have some kind of a social life. And that meant there was zero time for me to eat right, take care of myself. I was living on diet pop, coffee, and candy bars or chips for the most part, which didn't bode very well for me because in 2010 I had a sudden cardiac arrest and died. Now, luckily, I went down in a place where there were people that could help me, and it didn't stick. They revived me. And I'm here today to talk to you about these 9 areas and aspects of our life and why it's important to pay attention to them at least a little bit. Now, they're always going to have a different level of importance depending on what stage of our life we're in. When I was younger and my kids were younger, I felt like I had to do the things to put my family first, my finances first. Other areas of my life went on the back burner. But now that my kids are older, I'm much more, not balanced. Balance, I think, is a lie. But I pay attention to all of the areas now. Normally, I learned this from Tony Robbins probably in the late 70s, early 1980s. And he learned it from Jim Rohn. So I probably heard it from Jim Rohn first. But then Tony Robbins reinforced it. And other coaches and leaders and people have reinforced it over the years for me. And so for probably 35 plus years, I have set my life up and my goals and objectives, and it's been a framework for me to think about what it is that I want in my life. We talked about what we want yesterday, I think it was, and we just brainstormed the things that we want. Now today, we're going to think about the different areas of our life, and our tool is to prioritize or rank those areas and realize that over time, the order changes, how important certain areas and aspects of our life change. For example, now, my physical well-being is at the top. It's always in the top 3 of my life, whereas in my 30s and 40s, it was, number 7, because I only had 7 areas back then. But now it's definitely moved up and stays up toward the top. The older I get, the more I realize that I have to pay attention to what I eat, what I drink. Do I sleep? Do I drink enough water? Do I take the right supplements to take care of myself? Because if I die, nothing else matters. So what are these 7 or 9 areas? I added 2 areas in April of this year. Started getting more coaching and information. And I believe that they are foundational areas. So we'll do an example of the framework that we're using to make changes and challenges automatic for us. We'll do an example on these 2 areas as well. And they are communication and confidence. I added those in April. Prior to that, these other 7, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, and contribution. Those were the ones that I always used up until 2021. Then I added communication and confidence. And I actually structure and set my long-range goals in each of these categories. I have 1 to 3 big lifelong goals in each category. And every year I break them down to this year, what do I need to do to achieve that lifelong goal? And then I break it down by quarters, by months, by weeks. I even break it down to the day. What am I doing every day to move me toward my annual, to my bigger chunk goal, to my annual goal, which leads to my long-term goal. And you can do that if you want, but you don't have to. But I will say, my dad always taught my sisters and I and my kids before he passed away, you got to have goals and you got to write them down. And it was one of the last things he made sure he told all the grandkids before he died. So physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. We are going to prioritize those, meaning we're going to make a list from 1 to 9. What is the most important for you right now? Is it physical? Is it financial? Is it mental, emotional, spiritual? What is it for you? What is the most important area of your life? Or what's the area that's giving you the most doubt, worry, fear, challenge, upset, change about? And I'll tell you, the last year and a half, for 80 plus, closer to 90% of the people, the number one thing has been financial. That's just the way it is because so much has been up in the air in the last year. But it doesn't matter. It's what's important for you, and it's just a snapshot of what's important for you right now. Now, I haven't done mine yet this time, and every time I do it, it changes slightly. And that's why I like to put numbers to things and add numbers to things. But let's see what I had last time. This is the last challenge, which was in August. My number 1 was communication. My number 2 was confidence. My number 3 was relationships. My number 4 was physical. 5 mental, 6 financial, 7 emotional, 8 contribution, and 9 spiritual. That was just my order last time. Now, I guarantee I won't look at that again, and I'll wait till later so I don't remember it, and I will go through this just like I'm asking you to, and rank 1 through 9, what is most important to you right now. And then share in the comments below. Our action item is just to share what's your number 1 area. What's the number 1 area? Because that gives me an idea of what we should start doing the SOAP framework on. We'll usually start with the one that is most people's number 1 priority area. But we will go through all of them. I promise you we will go through a specific example or more than one specific example in each and every area and aspect of our life, so you know how to apply it to your life. And I'll take actually a personal example from my life, unless somebody wants to offer up and be the guinea pig and do the challenge, and we'll use an example from their lives. If you'd like a certain example, I'm going to do a little call for participation now. If you have a certain problem or challenge or area of your life that you would like us to go through the framework on and use you as a guinea pig and an example, please go ahead and offer that up. Otherwise, I just take examples from my own life, and from a selfish perspective, it keeps me moving in the direction I want to go every time we do the challenge. I get a big hit and a big hit of momentum moving toward what it is that I want. So I like doing my own, and it's kind of embarrassing to share sometimes, but that's how I grow, and that's how we all grow. All right, 9 areas or aspects of our life. I will put those in the comments below so that you don't have to try to remember them. Just rank, order, or prioritize them from 1 being most important to 9 being the least important to you right now. Share your number 1 in the comments below. Have an awesome day. If you have any questions, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. We're going to do something else with these 9 areas and aspects of our life. All right.